coming up on At Your Leisure.
I'm Brett Hermansen.
And I'm Chad Booth, and we'll show you a different way to enjoy Flaming Gorge. Hint, it's not boating.
I'm Will Oxley, and I'm going to show you some world-class rock climbing in American Fork Canyon.
I'm Reese Stein, at your leisure, on a tiny creek in Utah County that has a special breed of trout.
You know, Brett, I can say this on TV safely. That's a damn pretty picture.
It is. It's one damn good view. Hi, welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Brett Hermansen, filling in for Rhea.
And I'm Chad Booth, and we are on a trail up in Daggett County, continuing our series to look at the area up here, and it's called Pipe Creek. And it's about equal distance from from Dutch John and from Manila. It's actually a little closer to Dutch John. But this is the place you can stay in either community as a base camp and come up here. What would you say is the hallmark of this trail so far? I mean, we haven't been on it very long.
Straight up. That's pretty much all. We've really climbed. We've climbed about 600 feet in about 1 mile. And we are just going right up. It's a little intimidating, but it isn't bad.
Yeah, I think somebody who just started in the sport, I mean, they're not real hard lines to pick from anything I've seen.
No.
It's not like you're going to roll a machine. It is going to, I mean, you are going to feel like you've earned your climb.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think this is great if you're just not on your very first trip to feel like you've accomplished.
Yep.
You need to get your brother out here.
I do. Yeah, Chris, you should have come. You'd love this.
Anyway, let's find out a little bit more about the trail, some of its history, and some of the facts about it.
Actually, this is probably one of my favorite trails to run because it's kind of a middle of the road trail. It's not real easy and just running down the roads, and it's not real technical where you need to have multiple machines and spotters.
What we're doing today is more of a medium trail. It's got some obstacles, get your heart rate going a little bit, but nothing too major. Well, you just jump in elevation quite quick. I mean, I think within 1 mile, we had already gone 500 feet in elevation. Well, this one is great because you actually can start at the parking lot of the dam. It's instant. You're on a trail and then you're just surrounded by this, which is just beautiful.
We started out on Pipe Creek Trail. This is actually the Spruce Creek side trail. And we're right here at the end of the trail at Spruce Creek at a nice picnic spot, if you will. Shaded, cool spot to stop for a minute and then head on out the trail, the rest of Pipe Creek. You're going to drive through some of the beautiful ponderosa pines of Utah mountains, grassy meadows, hopefully see some wildlife along the way. It's just a great, beautiful, open trail.
It just takes you away. You get on the trail and you just you fall in love with it.
There's not a lot of people that come here and think they ride trails. Most people come here to play on our beautiful lake, which we welcome them to do, but we'd like to see more of them get out into the trails and explore more of our county, what it has to offer. We ask them to be respectful. If you run into a closed gate, there's a reason it's closed. If you bring in trash, make sure you carry your trash out. And don't be afraid to pick up something that somebody may have dropped along the way.
What you think you see is not always the truth. Now, we are making our way along the ridge on Pipe Creek. That is the city of Dutch John. The rounded building you see there is the Quonset hut, the storage, the hangar at the airport. Right next to it, you'll see like 2 or 3 sections of red roof. That's actually the city storage units, and they're not at the airport. They are across another valley where the city of Dutch John sits. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it just looks like it's all one thing, but that's quite a ways away. And then right here you have the Green River, the gorge for the...
Yeah, the dam's right up here and the river makes its way down. And for fun, There's a whole other set of trails you can leave from Dutch John, go out around past the airport, and you can actually get right up on the edge of the river and look down into some of the rapids. We're going to have to come back. Right now, it's time for us to go to this week's Where To.
For everybody lucky enough to live along the Wasatch Front, there's instant access to hiking, fishing, mountain biking, off-roading, paragliding, and more. And that's not even counting the wintertime fun. Despite this amazing bounty of outdoor activities, in decades past, it became a mecca for sport climbing.
We're here in American Fork Canyon, and this area was kind of a real hotbed in the 80s when sport climbing hit the US by way of Europe. Some of the best climbers in the world would come here to kind of test their mettle on what was some of the hardest routes in the world at that time. What we're climbing today is a far cry from that, but rock climbing always attracted me because it kind of necessitates that you have to focus really intensely on what you're doing, and that blocks out a lot of the other background noise that you kind of just have in your day-to-day. So, you know, when you're on the rock, you're so focused, you're very present, and I think it's a lot of fun, and it always seems to be in really beautiful places. Plus, it's just fun doing something a little scary just kind of makes you feel alive too. Yeah, it's fun.
The limestone crags of American Fork Canyon present perfect opportunities for climbers. With over 800 routes, there's something for all skill levels.
It's both a mental exercise and a physical exercise, I think. It keeps you really engaged, and it's just something we get to do together, and I have a dance background, so I think that body awareness and like just how you move in space like translates to rock climbing, so it's just been a fun thing to kind of pick up, and the fact that it's physical activity, you're in the outdoors.
Yeah, it's fun for us as a couple because of the dynamic of, you know, belaying each other.
Trust,
and it's a good way to stay healthy, and we have so much good rock climbing that's so close on the Wasatch Front. It's just crazy how much quality rock climbing there is within half hour, you know, so we like to try and take advantage of that.
And not just the accessibility of the short drive, but there's a 5-minute, you know, hike in, so that helps too.
All of this access has been painstakingly fought for by different climber alliances and you know, local climber organizations. So much volunteer work goes into maintaining these routes. So it's pretty special, the amount of time and money and effort that goes into maintaining the trails, replacing anchors, making sure things are safe is pretty remarkable. So that's one of the big draws, is that you can come out here and climb in a place this scenic and have it be very safe. That's a huge draw, and this canyon in particular is just so cozy and scenic, so it's nice to just spend time here even if you weren't climbing.
Like any outdoor activity, there is inherent risk involved. But if you learn good habits from the beginning and take safety seriously, there's nothing that can hold you back.
There's a ton of know-how and technical knowledge to be able to do this safely. You know, in the modern age of climbing, with these gyms that we have on the Wasatch Front, I mean, we have some of the best gyms anywhere on Earth, and they provide professional classes and teaching. So it's really easy to do that in a safe environment in the city. These days, it's a lot easier to get into the sport.
I'm really excited that it's something I can do for a long time. You see people that are like in their 60s or, you know, even older just crushing it. So it's pretty cool that it's something that, you know, young and old can do as well. And something that we look forward to doing, you know, together for a long time.
For this week's Where To, I'm Will Oxley.
With comfort to help you work around the clock. Technology to make the job go faster. And performance that maximizes fun on your day off. You'll see why life is better on a Honda.
Wondering where your next OHV adventure will take you? Outsiders Utah has your answer with downloadable GPS routes, ride times, distance, local amenities, and other details. 360 street views of the trails that let you explore before you go, and more. Eliminate the guesswork and uncertainty and find a trail you'll love. Visit outsidersutah.com and see the trail before you ride the trail.
Daggett, the sparsest populated county in Utah, is full of adventure. Seemingly endless territory, where after a few twists and turns, you can find yourself in a land that feels untouched by time. From desert to mountains and everything in between, Daggett County offers a picture-perfect experience for the modern explorer. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
At Your Leisure has a long-standing reputation and a large, loyal audience of adventurers in the outdoors. Although we're excited to continue to grow and enjoy the shared success of our longtime sponsors, we have space for more. And if you have a brand that would benefit from the 2 decades of goodwill that we've built, contact us at ayltv.com and let us amplify your voice above the competition.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We're in Katie's kitchen, one of my favorite places to be. And we are going to be cooking up today with Katie on your delicious Yardley premium beef.
We're going to be doing some just kind of grandma's type meatloaf. I mean, some old authentic meatloaf, old school. We're going old school today.
Love it. Okay, well, I know it's a crowd pleaser, so let's get going.
Let's get cooking.
All right, what do we do first?
We start off with we want to saute our veggies. So let's melt some butter, add in the onions.
Okay.
And then one thing I do with my meatloaf, I like to grate. You know how you grate cheese?
Yes.
I grate my carrots.
Look at that.
So the thing is, you just want to soften them.
Okay.
Which actually, they're pretty much there. So let's turn that off, and we're gonna let them cool down for a minute.
All right.
Okay, so we want to put our 2 pounds of our Yardley premium beef, butter beef into the bowl.
Okay, then we got the veggies coming in.
So we got the veggies coming in. Okay, then after the veggies, 4 eggs.
Okay.
We do a 1/4 cup of cream.
Okay.
A few dashes of Worcestershire.
Okay. Worcestershire.
And then we got to get some salt and pepper in this baby. And once we got this in, we take our previously grinded Ritz crackers. And here's where it gets very messy. I'm thankful Rhea has got my back, because you have to get in with your hands.
I got your back.
It's kind of like when your kids had Play-Doh.
I like how you're making it kind of flat and not like a real high.
I don't like it super high, but I like it into a loaf.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It'll cook, you want it to cook as evenly as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to wash my hands. Give me a second, we'll come back and put the toppings on. So for the topping on our meatloaf, 2 cups of ketchup. I like to use like dry mustard.
That's a good idea.
About 1 to 2 tablespoons. Gotta have a little bit of my organic cane sugar or brown sugar. You can use brown sugar, that's just fine. Okay, so once we get this mixed, you wanna put, not all of it, you wanna put a small portion on top of your meatloaf. We're gonna put it into the oven. We're gonna, 350, we're gonna bake this for 45 minutes. We're gonna open the oven, take it out, and then put a lot more of the sauce on top. And then bake it for another 25.
All right. So Katie, now we've had like 45 minutes to cook. You're taking this out, and we're gonna put some more of that delicious topping on top.
Yes, we are. So let's slather it on.
Indeedy.
We're gonna slather a bunch more.
I can't wait to dig into this. So we got another 25 minutes to cook it
Yes,
again?
yes.
Okay.
We're gonna put it back in for another 25 minutes.
All right. So we got the meatloaf off the pan.
Yes, we put it onto a platter.
Yeah.
Looks prettier. Sprinkle it with a little parsley.
All right, let's dive in, sister.
Oh,
Look at that.
Most
That
beautiful
is
meatloaf.
beautiful. Look at that. I can't wait to take a bite out of it.
It's hot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it's so moist. It's fantastic.
That is like the best meatloaf you've ever eaten in your life.
Yeah, and you're not bragging.
Oh, no, I'm not bragging.
You know what? It really is the best meatloaf. It's fantastic.
It is.
If you,
I gotta have another bite.
Absolutely. If you want this recipe, go to AYLTV.com and it'll be right there. And if you're interested in cooking with Yardley Premium Beef, go right here and check it out, and you can order it up and get it in your house and make this delicious.
It makes a difference.
It really does. It's so yummy. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more At Your Leisure.
Unexplored. Does it mean riding the same trails as everyone else? Fishing the same lakes? Stopping at the same views? No. Unexplored is so much more. To find it, you need to get off the beaten path. In the northeast corner of Utah, you and your family can still find a land that's unexplored. The shores of Flaming Gorge are only the beginning of a family adventure in Daggett County. Daggett County, Utah. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
At Stedman's Recreation, trucks are arriving daily with back-ordered side-by-sides, ATVs, and dirt bikes. Let Stedman's Recreation help get you outside so you can explore and create memories to last a lifetime. Call or stop by Stedman's to hold your side-by-side, ATV, or dirt bike with a small deposit. Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, and Beta. Plus, Stedman's has a full service department and Honda power equipment.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Everybody always talks about the good old days when the grass was greener, the air was clearer, and adventure could be found in any direction. Well, the good old days are still here. You just need to know where to look. In Aurora, Utah, you can find everything you want out of life. Limitless OHV access, views that ignite the imagination, and destinations that remind you how the good old days are closer than you thought. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
Well, it looks like this is the only wide spot in the road.
Yeah.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. Here we are on the Pipeline Trail.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Pipe Creek runs up here quite a ways, and we've made a stop and found a couple of meadows along the way. You know what really strikes me about this? This is a place to bring kids.
Yeah.
It's a trail they can handle, and you know, not get bumped around too much, although they will get bumped around a little bit. But there are meadows, and there are butterflies, and there are little squirrely things that dart back and forth, and there are rocks to climb on. And you know, if my kids were young again, this would be like the perfect day for them.
Yep.
A stream to play in, a tadpole to catch.
Yeah, there you go. My grandkids would love this. Hell, my kids would like it, you know? They're still young at heart.
Yeah, they are. So. Anyway, when you go out for adventures like this, you always have to have a base camp. Our base camp today is the town of Dutch John. It's about 6 miles away. Let's check it out.
So in Dutch John, we've got two different gas station resort. We've got Dutch John Resort and Trout Creek Flies. They both have a small RV park, and they both have some cabins, whether you go with the full amenity cabin or just the dry cabin. They both have bathhouses, so we've got a few accommodations. So Flaming Gorge Resort is actually the only restaurant in Daggett County that is open year-round for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days a week. In Dutch John itself, there are two. There is Dutch John Resort, which has, I believe they call it the Green River Steakhouse. And then Trout Creek Flies has a little restaurant seasonal there that is Mia's. Great atmosphere. So most restaurants are either lunch and dinner or breakfast and lunch or weekend. It's a great little town. It was owned and operated by the Bureau of Reclamations up until I think 1983, 1985, somewhere in there is when they privatized. And it was given over to Daggett County. Roughly 6 years ago, the town decided to go ahead and incorporate. So we are now our own municipality, and we're working through the growing pains and the realization of responsibilities we decided to take on and just what that means for a town. and how to be our own town. We're starting to look forward to the future and what we can do and what we can be.
Of course, you can also pack a lunch and bring it with you, and this is a good spot to stop on the trail. This is called the Spruce Creek Turnaround. It's a side trail off of Pipe Creek, and it comes right down to a little meadow. It's very cool. It's always a few degrees lower because Spruce Creek, which runs all year, sits right down here about, I don't know what, 20 yards off the machines.
Yeah, we're just barely right up there in the trees, not even 20 yards probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cooler because we're at 7,000 feet now.
That's true.
So, you know, yeah. And the creek just goes right on through here, and actually it's going along its way, and so we're going to take you to the Along the Way.
I'm Reese Stein, at your leisure, along a tiny creek in Utah County that has a special breed of trout. The wildlife guys are using electricity and nets to see how they're doing.
So we're up here in Nebo Creek today doing some electrofishing, some population monitoring of our native Bonneville cutthroat trout.
Loaded down with a low-power generator, biologist Mike Slater is gently shocking this tiny stream to stun the fish. As they float to the surface, they're scooped up in nets and kept alive in buckets of water.
We can go through a certain stretch of river, collect all the fish with electricity, just a small amount of electricity. We can then weigh them and measure them because it just stuns them for a minute or so.
But these are special fish, thanks to a recent disaster. A devastating forest fire roared through here 4 years ago and killed all the fish in the stream. That turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
In this particular case here at Nebo Creek, we were able to take advantage of it to where we lost the fish, a bad deal, but hey, let's do something good with it. And this is where we brought the Bonneville cutthroat trout back into the system from here all the way up to the headwaters.
Bonneville cutthroat trout are the official state fish. They were here before the pioneers arrived and began importing other kinds of trout. Soon the Bonneville became scarce, found only in isolated, sometimes remote waters. Biologists captured some of those fish, took the eggs from the females and milk from the males, and made millions of new cutthroat in the hatchery. The fish in Nebo Creek came from that process or from natural reproduction in the stream. Only Mike Slater could get excited over catching a 1-inch trout.
One of the most exciting things is we've got little tiny, what we call young of the year, the fish that have just come out of the gravels, within the last month or two. And so that was really exciting to see the fish that we've stocked years ago or the last couple of years are actually now reproducing on their own.
They caught fish from all 4 years since the restoration following the 2018 fire, the largest about 13 inches.
That's probably about as big a fish as we'll see in a creek like this. Maybe a little bit bigger. I'm really excited about a fish that big in a stream like this, and the fact that probably one of them that's here spawning and reproducing or recruiting into the population.
The net crew is having a blast.
It was really fun. I really like netting the fish. It's exciting. They're spawning. It's really good. Yeah, they're doing it all by themselves and without us stocking, so that's really good.
As a literal phoenix rising from the ashes, Nebo Creek appears to be on its way to a full recovery.
So we're hoping that we've got a self-sustaining population. We'll continue to monitor it just as we have today to see how they do and see if we need to continue to supplement with additional cutthroat or if we can kind of let them go and do their own thing now.
Reese Stein at your leisure along the way on Nebo Creek in Utah County.
Where is Aurora, Utah? That's a good question. But here's a better one. Why should Aurora, Utah be your next destination? Some people will ask, where can I go on my next adventure? A better question is, how far can I go on my next adventure? In Aurora, the answer is as far as your gas tank will take you. Aurora, off I-70 in the heart of central Utah. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
The world food supply is something you don't think much about, but you probably should. The availability of beef is going to be low next year, so rather than pay high store prices, why not consider buying a quarter or half beef from butter-steaks.com. It's premium beef from Yardley, and it is delicious. Stock up now at butter-steaks.com before the prices rise.
When you're ready for adventure, fuel your machine with Clear 91. Fuel for performance, fuel for adventure, and fuel for the long haul. Ethanol-free, 91 octane. Fill up with Clear 91. Only available at Eagles Landing. With you for the long haul.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. Here we are on the Pipe Creek Trail, and we're at the end of it because we have hit the gate.
Going no further.
Yep, from 8:01 to 11:30, you're not allowed past this gate.
Now, they didn't just pick on us because they knew we were coming up here to film. They close this each year for wildlife habitat prior to the hunt. You know, the animals need a place to kind of congregate and get their wits about them so that they have a fair game chance when the hunting season comes along. However, it does cut the trip in half. We've come about 7 miles. We're going to go back about 7 miles. If you come here before August 1st, after the snow melts, it's about a 16-mile trip of this beautiful wooded forest land in, out, and back. So plan your trip accordingly and just expect that if you're here this time of year, that's what's going to happen.
Yep. But for now, we're at the end of the trail. Let's take a look at next week's show.
Next week, the tradition that started in 2009 lives on as AYL joins the Stedman family for the 13th annual Red, White, and Road Motorcycle Rally in Torrey, Utah. Then, we're joining the Jorgensen's crew for a unique camping adventure as they take us to the Little Hole Recreation Area for a spectacular day of hiking and fishing. Finally, we're looking into one story of a local high school mountain biking team that was in desperate need of a mountain biking course, and how they were able to help design and create such a place thanks to the dedication and innovation of one of their alumni. And just a heads up, don't forget that November 4th through the 6th is the 4th annual Rally in the Bullfrog Valley, which will feature guided rides, great food, and an OHV dinosaur costume contest. Wow! So be sure to come and participate in all the fun. Again, just one more reminder that within 2 weeks, AYL 24/7 will be live and you can sign up for it. And that means that you get to be part of producing the show, giving us story ideas. We're going to listen. And you can see all the behind the scenes fun that we have when we're out, like we did today. Did you guys all have fun?
Yeah, we had a blast. Beth, it was great today.
Okay, I got my eyes on you, man. Anyway.
Plenty of content for behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right. Just remember, there is adventure around every bend.
You just got to get out there and find it.
That's right.
At your leisure.